There are two tales waiting for you, told one after the other by an odd set of two. So prepare yourself, dear one, because this is Drops of Darkness.
Welcome to the show. I'm Anodyne Vaughn, the writer and narrator of all things fiction, and me and my true storytelling co-host, Cameron Helkuik, have two especially exciting stories for you this week. Why are they exciting? They are about some of our favorite topics. Mine is titled Invasive, and it's about parasitic fungus. Not only was I able to find out all sorts of fun, disgusting things about how fungus takes over a living host, I learned that there are multiple species of it living right here in my home state of Washington. Neat. And if that wasn't fun enough, Cameron's true story is about an entity met while someone was lucid dreaming. Outstanding. If you enjoy what we do, it would mean the world if you could share our little two-person production with others who might like to take a weekly dip into the void. All right, enough of all that. Stranger and someone are waiting. I am Stranger, and I tell only fantasies. Whenever your world has a grip on your throat, I am there waiting to unleash the monsters that sleep in my mind, so that they may remind you that you have sharp teeth and claws of your own.
Message from Angie. Had fun on the hike today. Sorry you got a bit scraped up, but glad you were able to find what you needed for your research. You'll have to give me an update on your new little friend at lunch on Friday.
Communication and spread of phytopathogenic fungi. Quantitative measurements of mycelial network establishment on host cells. Jamie Fitzgerald, 2024. A life cycle case study of a parasitic fungus found in the Pacific Northwest. Research log, April 9th. Collected a fresh sample of the Cordyceps militaris fungus in the Solduck Valley on the Olympic Peninsula. Specimen appears to be in a late-stage fruiting state, emerging from an undetermined insect pupa host. The stromata stalks are healthy, based on the vivid orange coloration, and the number of spore sacs. Multiple specimens were found at the site, despite their rarity in this area, indicating ideal growing conditions present in the local environment. April 10th. Specimen is exhibiting an unexpected growth rate in the 24-hour period since collection. Under a microscope, tissue slides show atypical presentation within multiple structures of the fungal body. Samples have been sent off to confirm this specimen is in fact Cordyceps militaris. April 11th. The unique structures are now easily seen without a microscope due to the fungus's aggressive growth rate. It appears that mycelial branches have sprouted in varying lengths across the entirety of the fungal body. The spore sacs have doubled in size and have migrated to the highest point of the stromata. My current hypothesis is that it's attempting to collect information on the surrounding environment before releasing the spores. If that is the case, that means that this fungus is deciding where it wants to spread. It's likely that this is a different, more aggressive species of cordyceps that's been introduced into the area, quite possibly invasive. We'll contact the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, and we'll continue to monitor to collect any relevant data. Multiple insect pupae have been scattered around the specimen as potential new hosts. Hopefully it takes the bait and I'm able to start an accurate assessment of its incubation period.
Message from Angie. Hey, we still on for lunch today? I'm here and I grabbed us a booth. If you're just running late, I can order you a drink and send a smiling emoji.
April 12th. Specimen is confirmed to be a Cordyceps militaris. At least it was when the samples were collected. It appears now that the cordyceps were hosting a separate unknown type of phytopathogenic fungus that has taken over its mycelial network and spore structures. A parasite of parasites. All the pupae hosts, 7 in total, have been connected by the branching mycelium fibers, and at least 2/3 of the visible spore sacs have ruptured. It appears that the specimen uses the host cordyceps as an anchor as it spreads. Although accelerated, the invasion process of the host body appears to be identical to that of standard Cordyceps militaris. Paralysis, followed by mummification. Fish and Wildlife are sending someone out to the area to investigate. We'll continue to monitor as invasion progresses.
Message from Angie. Hey, no sweat about lunch yesterday. I know you've been really busy lately. Just let me know when you're feeling up to hang out. I miss you. Message from Angie. Raj said he saw you in the lab and you were limping. Did you ever get your leg looked at after you cut it on our hike?
April 13th. It got a rat. I'm not sure how. Rat was half paralyzed when found, but still trying to drag itself and the specimen towards the window. The specimen has been burned. I tried calling Fish and Wildlife, but no one will be there until Monday. I'm going home. Quantitative measurements of newly discovered parasitic fungi invasion in a human host. A case study by Jamie Fitzgerald, 2024. April 14th. Everything hurts, inside and out. Note that pain receptors remain fully functional, even in mid-stage of invasion. Paralysis began at infection site. In this case, left leg, and spread across lower half of body after 5 days. But it is spreading faster as of day 6. I suspect because I am no longer mobile, I am now only useful as sustenance, as the fungus searches for a new host. Tissue death began as early as day 4 and is progressing quickly.
Message from Angie. It's been a few days. Are you okay? Raj said some people from Fish and Wildlife came by the lab looking for you. Message from Angie. I know our spare keys are only for emergencies, and I might be a bit overdramatic right now, but no one's heard from you, and I'm counting that as an emergency. I'll be at your place in 20.
April 15th. The mycelium network has reached my brain. I can feel the small, scattered shocks of their electrical signals. They're using my memories to find food. Note that in the end stage of invasion, all sensation, including pain, is gone. Cognitive awareness, including fear, still fully present. Stomata stalks have emerged from multiple areas: legs, hip, stomach. Spore sacs have already started to rupture. Angie, I'm sure that you'll find this. So thank you for making sure I have someone to say goodbye to. I'm just sorry that it was me that you decided to always be there for. I'm afraid that what I want to thank you for is what's put you in more danger than anyone else. I've tried to not think of your face. I'm sorry I tried. But I know they've seen it in my head. They've seen you. I'm so sorry.
Hello, everyone. In between stories, we like to highlight a cause that is worth our collective attention. For March, in Women's History Month, we decided to highlight the National Women's Law Center. The NWLC has been at the forefront of the fight for gender justice for over 4 decades. They work tirelessly to break down barriers, advocate for policy changes, and create a more inclusive future for all. You can find out more and donate at www.nwlc.org or from the link on our website at dropsofdarkness.com. Now, back into the shadows we go.
I am someone, and I tell only truth. Whenever something slithers through the barrier between worlds, I am there, not to stop them, but to watch them and remind you of the countless terrors your kind has survived, all on their own.
Thank you to the Reddit user who shared this story with us. Their handle and the link to their original story can be found in the episode's description. This story happened many years ago. I was 12 years old at the time, and my 13th birthday was right around the corner. At this time in my life, my family was having financial problems, and we actually had to move into my former stepmother's sister's house. So it was essentially my step-aunt, with her husband as well. This house was extremely dirty and dusty. I swear, this house was never cleaned, and this was definitely one of the low points of my life, as far as living situations are concerned. The living room was where I typically slept. There was a big old leather brown couch, which had a distinct old leather smell to it. In front of this couch is what I assumed to be a coffee table, but it was more like a big-ass chest that was just a huge hunk of wood. Next to this table, also by the couch, was an old reclining chair, which is where I slept because it was located near the only TV. Anyways, I had seen or read something about lucid dreaming. I honestly can't remember where I heard of it, but I thought it would be cool to try. So that night when I went to bed, I wanted to try and lucid dream. I tried some tips and tricks to induce lucid dreaming, and at first it didn't work. I simply fell into a deep sleep. While I was sleeping and I was in the middle of a dream, I then consciously remembered, oh shit, I'm dreaming right now. Then I imagined myself at the beach, and sure enough, there I was. I remember thinking to myself, this was cool that I could dream anything I wanted to now. Little did I know at the time, this would not last so long. I then felt weird, and everything around me in this lucid dream was starting to become very, very slow, and almost staticky and fuzzy. I thought I was waking up, and remembered that if you spin around in a lucid dream, this is to help you from waking up and ruining the experience. I don't know if this is actually true, but this is what I remember at the time. This is exactly what I did, and sure enough, I didn't wake up. But I wish I would have. I peered back into the house in the living room during my lucid dream experience, but the house was much different. It had this foggy atmosphere and was darker than usual. There was this strange aura around me at this time. I was in front of the living room and I actually could see myself in the reclining chair sleeping. It was the weirdest thing, and it felt so off. It's hard to put into words. But as I said previously, this dark aura was around me and I didn't feel safe. Behind the reclining chair, where I was sleeping, moving across to where the big coffee table is, was this entity. I honestly can't describe this thing. It was so horrible and fucking terrifying. This thing was crawling on all fours and had the skin and overall shape of a humanoid-like creature. There was legs and arms coming out from all sides of this fucking thing. It had this blackening atmosphere around itself, and it just felt evil. I literally froze in fear of this thing, and I could feel my heart beating. It was moving slow, but it was already closer to my physical body, and I wasn't taking any chances. I felt like my physical body was in trouble, so I started screaming at myself to wake up. I screamed and screamed, but didn't wake up. Please be aware, I am very, and I mean very conscious. I know that I'm sleeping in my mind, but I can't wake up. This felt trapping, and I started to regret trying to be conscious of my own dreams. I've only been in fear of my life maybe a handful of times in my years, and strangely, this felt exactly like that. I instantly overcame this frozen fear that took over my body from witnessing whatever the fuck this thing was, and I sprinted and then jumped into myself sleeping on the recliner. I shit you not, I instantly awoke and literally jumped out of the recliner by probably a couple of feet, almost right in front of the TV. With my heart going like I would just ran a marathon, I instantly turned around to gaze into nothing. I woke up and whatever thing I saw was instantly gone. I checked behind the chair, the coffee table, and even took a walk around the living room to no avail. It was 7 a.m. and everyone else was still asleep in the rooms down the hall. And I was alone, breathing heavy, covered in sweat, with a 160 per minute heart rate, thinking, holy fuck, was that real, or... I honestly don't know if what happened was even real, or I just had a panic attack inside my own head for whatever reason. It felt real at the time, because as I said, I was clearly conscious. I knew that I was lucid dreaming, yet I had seemingly no control over my own dream. I felt off for the rest of the day, and over time I went back to feeling safe sleeping. But holy shit, falling asleep for the next week or so took taking some deep breaths and some self-convincing. I also never have nightmares, and anytime I do have bad dreams, it's always been of car accidents, never anything like this. I told one person this story after many years, and he said I likely had an out-of-body experience and saw something I wasn't supposed to see. I don't personally believe that, but I honestly don't know what the fuck happened that day. And honestly, I hope it was just a dream gone wrong, but if it wasn't, I'd rather not know.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Drops of Darkness, which is written, voiced, and produced by Anodyne Vaughn and Cameron Helkuik. If you enjoyed your drift into the shadows, help keep the stories alive by sharing the show, leaving a review, and if you really want to earn the favor of these dark storytellers, tether yourself to their world by tapping subscribe. If you have a true paranormal story of your own that you'd like to be read by someone, you can make the offering to submissions@dropsofdarkness.com or through the form on our website. Until next time, dear one, and remember, when the darkness looks your way, hold its gaze.